Hello viewers, welcome to my Doctor Who themed YouTube channel, Who Ventures. And in this video I am reviewing Doctor Who Series 12 Episode 6, Praxeus. So we go straight into the titles and then we see it, and the Doctor's doing a voiceover and she's saying Planet Earth, third decade of the 21st century. And it's talking about 7 billion people on the planet. And I was a bit slightly confused because I thought it was 9 billion, but that might be a projected figure that I read about somewhere. But I read somewhere that it was 9 billion now. But maybe that's a projected figure that I read. Anyway, we see the Soyuz capsule, but it's crashing. And it's not working right, and the astronauts are in distress. And then we cut to this guy in a shop, and he's chasing a shoplifter, and he tackles him and jumps on him, and he's being quite rough with him, and he's doing a citizen's arrest because he's a police officer, but he's not actually working at the moment. He's on sabbatical. And then we get the lovely font titles, like the one font in Spyfall, and it says Peru. I love that font, it looks really cool, I like it. And we see 2 backpacker girls, and one of the girls, Gabriella, she's excited to show this beach to her mate Jamila. Now it's not established whether they're girlfriends or they're just mates on tour or something, but they go see this beach and they find out it's just covered in rubbish and there's loads and loads of birds. So they go back to their little campsite and they're in the tent, and Jamila is awake, and then she gets out the tent and to have a look what's happening, and there's all these birds swarming about, and then this bird attacks it. Then we're back with Jake, and there's a TV, and says put that TV up, and it's news about Adam Lang's, Adam is the astronaut. His capsule crashed into the Indian Ocean. And then Jake gets this message, help me, and it's from Adam, and that he's lost in Hong Kong. And then this girl called Gabriella, she's also looking for her mate Jamila in Peru. And then Ryan arrives, and yay, Ryan! And then Hong Kong, and Jake is at this location where Adam sent the text from. Now the whole story of this was about Jake. Oh, he never wants to go abroad, he'll never go anywhere, and you have to say he went to Hong Kong. He didn't tell anybody, he just went to Hong Kong and his husband. That's really good, that's really brave of him. Like, don't put that down. Like, he could have just rung NASA or the ESA, but no, he went abroad to Hong Kong to get his boyfriend, get his husband back. So he's already done something really brave at the start. So I think he's very down on himself. And then Yaz and Graham arrived, and they're a bit, we're like, they're all a bit Mulder and Scully, a bit smug. So they get the skeleton keys to the building, and they're all like, oh, we know what we're doing now. And then the Doctor's on this beach, and this guy's landed in the water, and he's washed up from this submarine under the water. So, and then we're back with Ryan. There's a lot of switching location in this episode, so it's quite confusing. It's quite a lot of cast members to keep up with. And then Ryan is chatting to Gabriella, and she's telling him about her travel vlog. It's like 2 girls roaming, come on, haven't you heard of me? And it's kind of a running gag where nobody's heard of her vlog. And then she's patting down Ryan to check he hasn't got any weapons, and she says, "Do you work out?" And says, "I do a lot of running." And then Ryan, he collects this bird they found to investigate and as evidence, and then they head off to the hospital to look for Jamila. Then Yaz, Graham and Jake are like, they say, "The ESA sent you," and then Yaz and Graham explain that they like their own like outfit kind of thing. And then the doctor meets Aramu and Suki, and they've got a lab on the beach. And this guy who washed up he's Zach Olsen from the submarine, and then he's got these like this bony scaly stuff on his skin, and it spreads all over him, and then it explodes. And the doctor's talking about all this weird stuff that's been happening, and she found a talking cat in Ontario, and I hope we get the talking cat as companion, because that would be amazing, and that would just be so much fun. So then we're with Ryan and Gabriella investigating the hospital, and they find another bird, and then the lights are flickering, and they find this quarantine room, and there's a body in there, and she's got the scaly stuff on her face, and Gabriella says, "Yeah, that's Jamila," and Ryan contacts the doctor, and Gabriella's like goes to touch the face, and then her eyes open, but then the scaly stuff's all over it, and she explodes as well. So Yaz, Graham and Jake, they read, Graham's reading this scan, and he says, "Something's on the other side of this wall," and then Yaz adjusts the scanner so he's looking at it the right way, so "on the other side of this door." I like that bit, I thought it was funny. And they find Adam the astronaut, so Yaz contacts the doctor, and then there's these people shooting at them like in gas mask people. So Yaz grabs this control thingy, and turns out that's important to them because the gas mask people stop shooting then. So and then the doctor realised, "Oh, I didn't investigate that," and she was focusing too much on the cat. I could totally relate to that. Well, that's really, really cool. I like that line. Then Ryan and Gabriella get in the TARDIS. I was a bit confused by this point because it looked like Ryan flew the TARDIS to where they needed to go, but perhaps I don't know if Ryan flew the TARDIS then. It was, and then but I think it was the doctor just turned up. And then Yaz wants more time to investigate, and there's a bit of people are saying that this moment when Yaz says, "No, I want to, there's something real important there, I want to investigate." When Yaz says this, the people are saying, "Oh, she must be being controlled by the master, or it's really sinister." It's like, well, it's not. It's perfectly in character for Yaz, because since we met her in series 11, even the first episode, we knew that she wanted more responsibility and to be trusted to investigate things and to be able to lead and do more jobs, and she wanted to be the boss and eventually get be the chief and stuff. So she's always wanted to be trusted to investigate on her own. This is Yaz being ambitious and wanting to prove herself and wanting to impress the doctor and prove that she can use her own initiative. But people are just saying, "Oh, the master's controlling her." Well, I'm sorry, but that's the most sexist, misogynistic thing you could say about that scene. Like, "Oh, she's only doing that because a bloke's controlling her." No, that's totally in character for Yaz. It's just totally in character for Yaz. So I don't know why people are saying it's weird. It's not at all. It's bloody not. And then the doctor, she wants someone to go with Yaz. So Gabriella volunteers because she's ready to fight something. And people are also saying that, oh, she wasn't upset about Jamila. Well, she probably was. There's such thing as delayed reaction. And also, there's not much time to sit and be sad about it, which is something that 12th Doctor said once, like, that there's no point sitting about being sad because the bad guys are going to get them. So she goes with Gabriella, and Gabriella is angry and wants to sort stuff out. So, and then Jake gets to go in the TARDIS, and Adam's in the TARDIS, and practically nearly everybody goes in the TARDIS in this episode. And Jake's like, wow. And the doctor's saying, yes, it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Like, and the doctor's like a bit impatient with him there. And so the doctor's taking blood samples from Adam and because he's got this scaly stuff on his face. Then we find out that Adam and Jake are married, and one says married and one says separated. So the marriage is a little wobbly at the moment. And then there's a call to the doctor from Aramu and Suki. So they go back to their lab, and there's another bird murmuration in the sky outside, and these birds aren't native to where they are. So then they send Aramu watching the birds, and after Greg, they sent him to watch the birds. He got attacked by the birds, and nobody mentioned him again. So I think, eek, that was a bit of an error that nobody mentioned Aramu again. It's like, oops. And then Gabrielle keeps trying to promote a vlog. And she's confused where people don't know it. People don't know her vlog, and very relatable when you're trying to promote your vlog and trying to promote your internet stuff, and like nobody's heard of it. It's like, come and watch my stuff. It's totally relatable, that is. Then Yaz is reading the screen, and then this gas mask person stops coming up from. And then he presses a button and he teleports somewhere. So, and then back at the lab, Ryan has to dissect the bird, and that's his job. And Suki Chang's got all the equipment the doctor needs for figure out what this thing is, and it's called the Crystals Ocean Initiative, the place. And then Graham, he's got these like sort of reading glasses. He looks, and Bradley, he transformed. Well, he didn't totally transform because he's already hot. But he sort of transformed into mega hot, and those glasses suit him so much. And he's like, he's looking hot in them glasses. And then the doctor finds out it's a microorganism alien virusy thing. And then we're back with Yaz and Gabriella, and they teleport themselves. Then Graham, Jake is outside, and Graham and Jake have a chat outside. And again, somebody said, nice for the birds to stop while they have the chat. So yeah, that is a bit of a odd thing too. And it's really sweet because Jake is like, he's scared about stuff and he doesn't admit his emotions and stuff, but he admits his emotions to Graham, says, what? And because Adam's an astronaut, and he thinks, he's so amazing, why does he love me? He can't love me. And Graham reassures Jake because Graham's thinking about Grace and that. And then Yaz and Gabriella, they teleported themselves to, and Yaz thinks it's an alien colony, and she thinks she's found an alien planet, and then they find the submarine that submarine guy got washed up from, and then the Doctor and Suki have got the info about what the thing is, and then Adam's got the scales on his face and these alien pathogens, and they're using the microfiltration system in the water, that because humans are full of microplastics. And then the birds have attacked Aramu, and it's like two strains fighting back. And then he has his talk to the Doctor, and she admits that she teleported them. And then the lab's sending info to the Indian Ocean. Then it turns out Suki is sort of the bad guy, but not really, because and Doctor says, "Oh, I'm a sucker for a scientist." Oh, that's really good. And I thought, oh yeah, I think she should go back and get Tesla and have him as the companion and the talking cat. So Suki's planet got ravaged by this Praxeus virus thing, so they're using Earth, because Earth's full of plastic, to try and find a cure for this virus. And obviously the Doctor's really pissed off that the experiment, using Earth for experiment on. And then the birds are attacking, and the birds are following, and the TARDIS is coming for Yaz. And yeah, my notes are very vague, and it's very hard to follow this episode. And this person with the gas mask takes it off, and they're covered in scaly things, and I think they explode too. And Jake stays with Adam in the TARDIS, and they have a heart-to-heart chat, and then the Doctor corrects Yaz and says it's not a colony, it's an alien construct. And Yaz is a bit annoyed and grumpy, because she thought she'd found a alien colony all on her own. I thought she proved that she can do a really big thing all on her own, so she's a bit disappointed. So and then there's the humanoids, the gas mask people, the humanoids, and they've got Praxeus and looking for a cure. And then the TARDIS alarm goes off, and it turns out that Suki was the last of her crew, and she's using Earth to test the cure. But then it takes over Suki, and she explodes. And the Doctor has an antidote, and it works on Adam, makes him better. So they have this plan to take up this spaceship and scatter this antidote over the Earth, and but the spaceship's not working very well, so it can't fly itself, can't go on autopilot to spread the cure. So Jake stays on board to press the button and release the cure, and he starts saying goodbye to Adam, and then at last millisecond the Doctor saves Jake and gets him back in the TARDIS, and Jake and Adam have a kiss, and it's really sweet, and the Doctor says, "Oh, I'm a romantic," and I thought that was really sweet. And then sorry, that was a motorbike. That's how sensitive my hearing is. Anyway, they go back on a beach, and they're saying goodbye to Jake and Adam, and Adam saying perhaps we'll go on their honeymoon, and then Gabriella says, "I'll come too, I can vlog it for you." I thought it was really fun. And then they say goodbye to the fam, and there's a little voiceover bit there. Humans separate and connected from the edge of the universe to under the ocean, and I thought that was a really sweet line. So this episode, to be fair, I was a little bit grumpy because we had to have dinner before the episode instead of after the episode, so I was feeling a bit stressed. So I was a bit grumpy about this episode at first, but it was pretty good episode. I thought it was a bit fast paced, and I prefer because the Tesla episode was a little bit slower, and there was more like you hear from the characters and their emotions more. So I like that chat with Jake had with Graham. I like when it slows down and you hear them talking about their emotions and the motivations and stuff. So next week's episode looks a bit more up my street. I like the spooky ones, they're fun. So that looks cool. And then the Mary Shelley episode, I'm excited about that because it's Mary Shelley, Frankenstein stuff, which I'm interested in, and oh no, I know my 4 trains fell off the tracks. Oh, and second, because it's by Maxine Alderton, who worked on Emmerdale and worked on the most romantic and beautiful episodes on Emmerdale that had like gay couples in them, and she's so good at writing. So I'm excited for that, and then I'm excited for the finale. My plans for after series 12 are to acquire BritBox and go on and review some classic Who episodes, but I'm thinking of doing list videos of my favourite moments of classic Who, because there'd be a lot to get through, and my videos were gone for ages and ages if I just narrated the whole thing. So I'm going to do lists of my favourite things. So I might do one where I'm chatting about it and then chatting about my list, and then do like a 1-minute video of just my list. So I don't know which you'd prefer or whether you want both of them. So yeah, so I've got lots of characters to draw again this week. I've got one more picture than last week. I've got 8 artworks to draw this week. So yay. So look out for them, and obviously I'll have my TARDIS art files for this episode up on Saturday. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Yay!